Today, you guys, we are talking about turning desire into reality. And after I came up with that topic, I thought, sounds a little risque. I don't mean desire as in, that way. I mean the things that we are wanting to create for ourselves, the goals that we have for ourselves. How do we turn it into an idea and a want and turn it into an actual reality? That's what I meant by that. But I didn't know other word to use that made sense. Anyway, okay, but first, in case we haven't met, welcome. My name is Lita, and I am not a doctor. But I am very, very passionate about keto. I love to share stuff that, the experts talk about out there, and we have discussions about that. I love chatting with you guys about motivation and ways we can get healthier and happier as we transition the older we get. I just think we can just really enjoy this life in so many ways, and sharing this information is great as a group. So welcome if you're new. Okay, let's talk about turning desire into reality. We all have these ideas in our minds, right? We have these ideas. We think of these things all the time. I'm going to follow keto perfectly. I'm going to get in 10,000 steps every single day. I'm going to go to the gym every second day, right? We have these ideas that we want to do, these goals, these, things that we want to do. But how many times do we actually do them? And I'm not saying this at all about making anybody feel bad who didn't follow through on the things that they wanted. But doesn't it seem weird that there are, and I do it too, like I'm fully admitting that I do it too, but there are these things that we say we want, like in our minds, even, not even if we say it out loud, but we say in our minds that we want these things, but then they don't actually happen. And we wonder, why don't they happen? So maybe we start beating ourselves up and we say, I just need to get motivated. I just need to get my blank together. You know, I just need to get motivated. Well, let's talk about motivation, because honestly, most people think that motivation is something that you just have, right? Oh, that person over there, they got a lot of motivation. They got a lot of motivation. Like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I have any motivation? Or you think it's something that's just going to magically appear. Like if I say I want to exercise every day, and then just all of a sudden I'm just magically exercising every day, even if it's something that your heart really desires, it doesn't mean that you magically get this motivation that just sort of washes over you. We may say to ourselves negative things. I mean, we might not even realize that we're saying it or we're thinking it, like it's too hard. I've failed before. I've tried it. Life is too short. I don't want to do that thing. Tomorrow I'll do it. Tomorrow I'll do that thing. Things like that, right? I mean, we all say those things to ourselves. We talk ourselves out of it pretty fast. And self-doubt robs us of our potential. So one of the things that we should think about is training ourselves to focus on the positive. That's the first thing. When these negative things come in, like, oh, you've done it before and you failed before, and oh, that was a thing you tried, and da 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 da, we need to literally extract that out. Who cares? Who cares that we have tried something before and it didn't work? Excuse me, how many of us have tried losing weight before? How many times have we lost and gained or whatever? Who cares? It honestly doesn't matter, because in the here and now, when we're thinking about the things that we want, it doesn't matter about those other things unless you are thinking quite constructively about what it was about that in the past that it didn't work out. Give you an example. Well, I was going to the gym with a friend, and that friend was my absolute motivation, and it was working really, really well. And then that friend decided not to go to the gym anymore, and I was left by myself, and then I didn't go anymore. Thinking about the whys of, not being hard on yourself, but the actual reasons why, the thing didn't work anymore, that's constructive. That's constructive to say, oh, well, maybe it does work out better. Sorry, I got an itch. Maybe it does work out better if I have a accountability partner to go with me, or maybe I could have an accountability partner online, or maybe I just need to go at a different time that works out better with my schedule, whatever. Thinking about the constructive part of it is fine. Beating ourselves up over something that didn't work before, no, absolutely not. That we have to put that right out of our mind, be super kind to ourselves. The other thing I want to talk about with trying to create the things that you want is increasing positivity in your life. And this is also something that doesn't always come natural for a lot of people. I've realized this into talking. Oh, I see your question, Sean, and I'll get to it in just a sec. I'll just get through this part here, and then I'll definitely come back to you. It's something that really needs to be worked on. For a lot of people, being positive, especially to yourself, is not something that comes natural. And you have to work on it daily. And I'm going to give you some ideas of things that I do, and I know other people do, that really help you to nurture this positivity in yourself. So, the first thing, I'm going to read through my notes here. First thing, when I wake up, I visualize my successful day. Okay. I do not reach for my phone. I absolutely do not reach for my phone. I lay there in bed, kind of like my eyes are probably closed or whatever. And I'm just imagining my day ahead and every single thing working out. And speaking of workout, if that was my plan to work out that day, I actually imagine myself working out. I imagine myself, oh, yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to do that new exercise or whatever. I kind of role play this in my mind as I'm just laying there in bed. Okay. Only happy thoughts. If there's something coming up that day, and maybe it's something that you're dreading, maybe it's something not great that happens, right? We all have those things. Picture the absolute best outcome that could come out of that situation. Say you have to talk to someone at work. It's not going to be a pleasant conversation. This person maybe is not doing great and you're their boss and you have to talk to them about it. That's not fun. But you imagine yourself thinking, okay, I've got this. I'm going to say it in the nicest way possible so that this person really gets what I'm saying, because I'm trying to help that person to be a better worker or whatever it is. And you just imagine that person, nodding their head and agreeing with you, whatever. You role play this in your mind to be as positive as possible. Okay, this is what I'm doing before I get out of bed. Then I do my yoga and my stretching and my deep breathing. And when I say that, it sounds like this big long session. It takes like 5 minutes tops. And again, it's in my bedroom. I don't even leave my bedroom. There's room at the base of my bed, and I get on my back and I do some different stretches and some different yoga poses. I lay on my back and I deep breathe, and I'm still kind of thinking positivity. I'm just stretching my body and being so grateful that I have a healthy body that can move like this. And that's kind of part of my morning. Okay, so then I go to writing in my gratitude journal. I've showed you guys this before. This is one that my daughter gave me, and I absolutely love it. And I write in there every morning, and I just write what I'm grateful for. It is different all the time. I don't write the same. Obviously, I'm thankful for some of the same things every single day, but I try to come up with just little things. Like sometimes it's just the smallest little thing, like, oh, yesterday, my postman brought something to my door that he would normally make me go all the way down to the post office to pick up, but he happened to be up here and saw my car and dropped it off. And that was so cool. I just write that down. I just write that down as something I'm grateful for. That's just a silly example, but just little things like that. And then sometimes it's the big things, and just really feeling that gratitude for the wonderful things that we have in our lives, because with all the stuff going on, and it can be it can be challenging, it can be depressing, it can be hard some days. Last 2 years have been really difficult. And so just trying to think of the things that we're grateful for just puts a total different perspective, and it really sets your day. I can't tell you how much this has changed the way that I think. From before I used to do it to now, it has made such a big difference. Motivation alone, though, is not enough. And it really requires action. Okay. And these are the kind of things that I'm saying, is that I am being purposeful in how I start my day. If in the olden days I would just like grab my phone and oh my God, there's an email and oh my, this person wants something and oh, whatever. And there's always something. And even if you're not looking at that, maybe you're looking on social media, and let's face it, that's not always happy and joyful. So I made a decision that I would not start my day with the things that did not fuel me for my day. And I had to be really intentional about it. I came up with this little morning routine for myself, and for you guys it could be totally different. There's some people in the group that are really, they love walking. Maybe it's like first thing you get out of bed and you put your stuff on, you go for a quick walk or whatever it is that brings you joy, that makes you happy, thinking about happy things, writing about what you're grateful for. You're being intentional on how you want this day to go. And trust me, it's like compounding interest. This adds up over time. It's a habit and a routine that I just cannot change now. I just find it has made such a difference in how I work, how I feel about myself. And when there's things that I'm trying to create, that's also part of when I'm doing my gratitude. I actually have two books for that. I kind of like to keep my gratitude in this because that's what I always did. And then I started adding the things that I am wanting to achieve in my life. And so here's just one that I'm using right now, but I mean, whatever, get yourself a cute little book or whatever. And then I'll put in there, like, I'll write it like it's happened, right? If you guys ever, if you guys enjoy like law of attraction or anything like that, it's like you're writing it down like it's already happened, it's already come to fruition. This is a thing that's happened. And as I'm writing it, I'm trying to feel the feelings that I would feel if that thing happened, if that thing worked out or whatever. And I'm feeling those feelings. And again, that's just another thing that's helping me set the tone for my day. And it really feels good. It really feels good. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, so it does require some action. So like I said, saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm just going to think positive and I'm going to think about these things that I want to come true." That's great. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But you really need to take some kind of action towards the goals that you are wanting. Okay, so let's just make one up. Let's say you really truly want to get more exercise into your day. And if every day turns into the next day where you're just, oh, I really want to do that. Oh, I'm too busy. I really want to do that. Oh, no, this thing came up or whatever. You have to plan for it. You have to plan for it. You have to figure out a way that it's going to be part of your life and you have to get it in. Kathy in our group, I don't know if she's here right now. She works a really early shift with her job. And I am sure that she said that she gets up at like 3 or 3:30 in the morning so that she gets her workout in before she goes to work. Clearly, she goes to bed really early. But what I'm saying is she's getting up early anyway. She figures what's an extra half an hour or whatever to get her workout in. Now, I'm not suggesting you guys got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning or anything. But if there's something that you really want, you need to make a plan. You need to take action to make that thing happen. They're not just going to magically appear on their own. You have to set yourself up for success. Let's say that we're talking about you really want to get off those last 10 pounds or you're struggling because maybe the scale hasn't moved for a long time. Instead of us complaining about it and saying, well, I don't know, this is working, blah, 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 you have to take action to make it work. So you're cleaning out the cupboard of all the temptations. You have social events coming up. So you're planning ahead to know what it is that you can bring so that you know that you have something to bring. You eat or drink a shake or something before you go so that you know you're going to be successful there. Say you have, excuse me, a really busy week at work. Plan your menus ahead of time. Have the groceries there. Plan your menus. It's really no surprise when things don't work out. If you look backwards, it's always easy, right? When you look backwards to see what didn't work. But it's usually because we didn't take action, we didn't plan ahead to make sure that we would be successful. So that is part of it. We need to lose the perfectionism. Get it out of your head. If there are goals that you want, That used to stop me in my tracks. I used to always think I have to be perfect or there's no point. If I don't do this thing perfectly, then there's no point. I'm going to be honest with you, and I've told you guys this before, exercise is not my deal. I wish that I loved it. I wish that I naturally loved it, but I don't naturally love it. So when it's exercise time, there are so many times where I don't want to do it, but I say to myself, 5 minutes. I am going to go on that treadmill for 5 minutes, or I'm going to do the weights, whatever, for 5 minutes. I set the timer on my phone. And if I do 5 minutes and I truly don't want to keep going afterwards, I have full permission to stop, and it's still a win. It's still a win because I made myself do the thing towards the goals that I am trying to achieve. It counts. It absolutely counts. So try to get rid of that perfectionism. Many times that stops me. Or like say another one I used to do was I would track, don't mind if you hear my dog, for some reason he's barking. If I was tracking my macros and I was doing absolutely perfect tracking my macros, and then I don't know, in the day I just really got hungry or ridiculously busy or whatever, and I didn't track and I just ate whatever, but it was pretty keto or whatever, it's a win. It's a win. It's not, oh, well, you said you're going to track your macros every day and then this happened or whatever. So why not just go into the chips, or why not just go and have whatever because you didn't do it perfectly anyway? I used to do that all the time. And that can set you back. And that doesn't help us at all when we're trying to achieve our goals and we want certain things to be reality. Beating ourselves up is absolutely not going to help at all. Stop waiting for motivation to wash over you like magic. Sometimes it happens and it's freaking amazing when it happens. You get really motivated for something and then you actually do that thing and it's awesome. It's like fairy tale stuff. But 9 times out of 10, that's not how it works. What works is you have this idea that you really want to do, you plan it out, and you take action towards that goal. And that's how we actually turn things into reality. The positivity part that I told you before, it's like by doing the things that help us to feel happy and uplifted, having gratitude for what we have in our lives, it just puts such a different feeling on you that it makes it a lot easier to do the action, to do the planning, to do what we need to do in order for what we want to actually become reality. It's a mindset thing. And I found that back in the days before I was having this morning routine, is usually when I do it, it was just really easy to be down on myself. It was really easy to be hard on myself. And it was really easy to, I think, come up with more excuses. Whereas when I got into this little groove, I just found I was just like, anything's possible. I just have this feeling that anything is possible. If there is something that I really want, I know that I can do it. I can get it. Somehow it's going to work out. And I just have to do what needs to be done in order to get it done. But writing it out and planning and all that kind of stuff, it all goes hand in hand. Honestly, it really does. Um, so I'm going to give you another little action thing if we were trying to do better with our weight loss. So we're trying to get back on keto. We make a menu for the week, we buy the groceries, we track the macros, and we stop complaining. Okay, we actually take action. Now, versus, yeah, I really want to do better with my keto, but I have nothing really great in the house. I have no plan for my meals. I have social things coming up and I don't really know what I'm going to do. How are you going to be successful with that? Right? So that's the difference. That's the difference, is making a plan and taking action intentionally. We're intentionally making that plan instead of letting things just kind of happen. I want to go back here and read if anybody has said anything, and then I want to know what you guys think. Do any of you have any kind of things that you do for positivity, to create your sort of inner motivation for trying to create the things that you want in your life? Tell me what you guys do and what you guys think. I would love to hear about it. Okay. Sean said, I have a question. I'm going to go pretty strict keto starting January 1st, and I have 5 employees at work that want to start keto for the first time. That's awesome. You've obviously been a really great role model. Do you mind if I ask the group for accountability and information buddies for them for support? I'm trying to boost my own motivation at this point. So I don't want to know. Oh, so I don't know if I'm in their best interest, been kind of off track. Okay. I get it. I get what you're saying. So you don't want to be kind of like their everything because you also have your own goals, right? Obviously, you're going to be helping them and stuff. Were you with us, Sean? Like, were you part of when we were doing the accountability partners? I think we did it in our last 21-day 21-day accountability. Is that what I call it? What did I call it? 21-day consistency. Sorry. Okay. I had accountability on my mind. 21-day consistency challenge. And in it, we had accountability buddies. So tell me if you were in that, because what I'm thinking is have the people join our group, make sure that they're in the group. And then when we do the 21-day challenge, by the way, it's in January, whatever the 3rd, whatever the first Monday is. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about, Sean. Okay. Hi, Deborah. Yeah. So January the 3rd. Okay, so it starts on January 3rd. I'm going to be posting about it soon. It's a 21-day consistency challenge with accountability buddies. Okay, so if your friends, your coworkers are in the group, then they just have to go on that post. And what I usually do is I get people just to say, yes, I'm looking for an accountability buddy, and then we can match people up. That's all they have to do. You don't have to actually get them the buddy. And you don't have to post about it separately. We're going to do this as a group. And I kind of prefer to have one post where we're looking for accountability buddies. It's just easier than constantly posting in the group all the time. So that's what I would prefer. And so we're going to do that. And for those of you that loved your partner already and you want to talk to that partner ahead of time and you want to make a plan that you guys are going to be partners again, great. You don't need a new partner. But for anybody that would like to try a new partner or someone who hasn't done it before and needs a partner, I will be posting about that. And I help too. Like I'll see somebody way up at the top say, I'm looking for someone. And then someone further down said, I'm looking. And then I'll match the two up and get them to talk. And so I kind of help out there too. So don't worry. If they're in the group, we'll get them matched up. And I think that's the best way. Perfect. I'll get them to join. 2 have joined so far. Great. Yeah. So get the rest of them to join. Please tell them, Sean, they have to answer the intake questions. Sometimes people don't do it thinking they can still get in or whatever. And that's my screening. That's the way I screen people because I'm quite meticulous in the group. I don't want, I want to make sure that there's no judgment whatsoever. I want people to understand the rules of the group. And so they have to answer the questions so that they know what is expected in the group. So please tell them to do that or else, unfortunately, they won't get in the group. Yay, Teresa's looking forward to the challenge. I'm really looking forward to it too. The last time it was a huge hit in the group. Like everyone loved it. I mean, all the other ones are really good, but there was something about 21 days. And I think it's because, you know what they say, it takes 21 days to make a habit. And especially for people who haven't really been on their game, being in this group together, posting, I do a post every single day for 21 days and we talk about different things. And it's there's your accountability right there. And I will say too, I don't want to make it that you have to have an accountability buddy. If you're kind of like a person that really just likes to do things on your own and you don't necessarily want someone to chat with along the way, you don't have to. It's just a suggestion. Sometimes we do some fun things where I get you to tag your buddy in different little fun things that we do. And so it's kind of nice to have that, but you can absolutely participate in the challenge without having an accountability buddy. So I just want to mention that just in case. Yeah. So yeah, Patty, if you guys want to be buddies again, go ahead. If you want to have someone new, go ahead. You can totally do whatever works for you. Yeah. So no one said anything in here about, happy holidays. Who said happy holidays? Carmen, happy holidays. If anybody does anything like this, or is it just me? I don't know. I mean, I'll just say some people, prayer, that's something that they do. I'm just saying something that lifts you up, that starts your day really positively, and that really morphs into the motivation topic. Because if we're right away from the second that we wake up, we're thinking about all the dreaded things for the day, or we're getting our phone and we're looking at the work we got to do or whatever, it is really hard to muster up these positive feelings that are going to help us create the things that we want in our life. And I find that it really does go hand in hand. There's been periods of time where I kind of wasn't doing it for whatever reason, and I could not believe the difference in my mental health, my attitude, and just trying to create the things I wanted just wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. I just didn't have it in me to even make the effort to try to make these things happen. And as soon as I got right back to it again, boom, totally made such a difference. Teresa, she starts her day with daily devotional. Exactly. So that's what Teresa loves to do. It starts her day off right. It helps her to feel grounded and connected. And I think that's awesome. That's fantastic. Somebody else said here, but I can't see their name. Kathy, I enjoy writing in my journal while drinking my fatty coffee. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I should have added that in there when you're writing in your journal, or you're writing your gratitude, or you're doing your devotional, whatever. You can have your fatty coffee. That's a huge win-win, isn't it? That makes it really enjoyable. Janet, for the new year, I'm going to need that motivation for exercising. Janet, I am with you. Okay. So why don't we keep each other accountable for the exercise part? Because I admit that is not my favorite thing in the world. And I will look for any excuse to not do it, but I am making it a priority. I really, really am. I keep thinking about, like, as we get older, and you need good muscles and you need good balance, and we need to have these things just to do the normal things. I mean, I'm not looking to go into a triathlon or anything, and I'm not going to any kind of bodybuilding competition. I just want to feel toned and strong. And like today, when I was lifting up that water thing, I mean, I did it no problem. But I was thinking to myself, what if a few more years go by and I'm really not doing much to grow my muscles? Am I going to be able to lift that thing? Because it was heavy. And I don't know. Right. So it really kind of got me thinking as I was doing it today. I want to always be able to do the things that I want to do. That would really pee me off if I couldn't do it. So, yeah. Teresa has a goal of 7,000 steps a day. Fantastic. That is awesome. You must have like a Fitbit or something like that so that you can tell what your steps are. Yeah, that's awesome. 7,000 is great. Janet, you love that. Okay. Okay. We're going to be accountable to each other for exercise, Janet. Okay. We're going to take this on because we're going to do it. We're going to do it consistently. Maybe I can add that into we do talk about exercise in the 21-day consistency challenge, but it's more about tracking our macros or staying on, keto or whatever it is the person's doing. It's kind of like whatever it is that you want to be consistent with, that's what you should do. I'm not telling you how to eat every day. I'm not telling you how to exercise every day, but it's holding yourself accountable for 21 days and then having your accountability buddy there for support. I know I've heard from many people in the group that said, you know what? I was not having a great day and I was feeling bad about myself, and maybe I ate this wrong thing or whatever. And I reached out to my buddy. And most people do it through Messenger, but you guys do whatever works for you. And I reached out to my buddy and I told them how I was feeling, and they gave me a completely different perspective on it. And it literally changed my whole day and right back on track immediately afterwards. It is nice to have someone to talk to. And sometimes we don't always have people in our lives that are supportive in that way. And even if you have people that are supportive, like I have wonderful people that are supportive of me and what I want to do, but none of them do keto. I am the only person in my household that does keto. So I really like having my accountability buddy, because the stuff that I would talk to with her, I'm not going to talk about those things with my family. They wouldn't get it. And quite frankly, probably don't care some of the things, right? They happily eat my food and they support me and everything, but it's just not the same as talking to someone who really gets it, really understands where you're at. Janelle, hi, Lita just joined. Hello. I hear you talking about weight bearing exercise. I'm with you. That's what I need to do. I plan to start Orange Theory. Wow. But keep delaying for no reason. Janelle, good for you. Now, who else do I know in the group that does Orange Theory? I want to say Patricia Jones, but I don't know. I could be wrong on that. There's definitely somebody in our group that does Orange Theory. And the reason why I'm trying to think of the name is because then maybe they could tell you some more about it or whatever, or maybe what got her to go every day or whatever. But you know what you could do? Maybe you just post in the group, hey, I'm thinking of joining Orange Theory. Is there anybody in the group that belongs to Orange Theory? I would love to hear what you think about it. And maybe that action might give you a little bit of, motivation to go towards it, right? So you take the action of getting some information and, maybe that's it. Or maybe you already know about it. But I feel like if you keep delaying it, there's a reason. And the reason is probably like you need to take a step. Maybe one step is you go there one time and say, hey, do you mind if I just look around? I'm not joining today. I just want to take a look around, see what it's all about, get some information, and I'm going to think about it. You just take that one action step. Because sometimes what we do, I do this all the time, is that we kind of jump steps. So we have this idea, okay, there's this thing that I want to do. Let's take Orange Theory, for example. I want to join Orange Theory. I really should go in today and join Orange Theory. I really need to tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to go and join Orange Theory. But there's a jump, right? You could say, I'm really interested in Orange Theory. And then one step is I'm going to look online and look some stuff up. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to talk to somebody. And then I'm going to look on my calendar. When's a good time to start? Knowing that I don't have anything getting in my way so that I can have a solid 3 weeks of consistency to make it a habit. Oh, maybe January 3rd when we do our consistency challenge. So there's some steps that you can take that are not committing you. You are not committing to it, but there are action steps that you can take. And by the time you get to the last step, it might actually be pretty easy for you to do it. But sometimes we think we have to go from idea all the way to the main event. And that's actually not true. You just need to take steps. Sometimes there's a project that I'm doing for work or whatever, and I can get kind of like overwhelmed with the enormous task, right? And I say to myself, I just need to take some action. Anything is action. So I'm just going to write down some brainstorming ideas. And the next day, I'm going to take one of those ideas and I'm going to branch out a little bit on what that would look like. Oh, maybe the next day I'm reaching out to somebody who might be able to help me on this project and we're going to discuss it or whatever. I don't go from, I've got this huge project to 3 days later, it's completely done. It's a process and it might take weeks. It could take months. It really depends on what it is that we're talking about. But we don't necessarily have to jump right into the thing immediately. And that's kind of what I was getting at with my exercise thing when I said to myself, I just need to do 5 minutes. Because before I was saying to myself, I really need to exercise and it's got to be like 30 minutes. In my mind, that's the expectation that I had for myself. So then when I thought about doing it, it was like I overwhelmed myself just thinking about 30 minutes of exercise. That's crazy talk. I just couldn't do it. So when I came up with a 5-minute rule, it's just like, you know what? 5 minutes. Most of the time I'll go longer than 5 minutes. I mean, absolutely I do many, many times, but I give myself permission to only do the 5 minutes. If I am just not feeling it, I really don't want to keep doing it. I did the 5 minutes. It counts. It's a win. Yay me. And that adds up in your mind. It adds up in your mind that you had these wins and that you are being successful, and it will help over time to do even better. Yeah. So, okay, you guys, that was really it for me. I hope you guys might try some of these ideas. Maybe we can talk about it more in the group if you guys didn't share the kind of things that you're doing. Really consider how you wake up in the morning. If you're one of those kind of people that like your alarm goes off and you're right away on your phone or you're doing something that's kind of not positive and possibly even stressful, consider changing something to change your day. It can be literally 5 minutes. We're not talking a whole hour or anything like that. 5 minutes of just getting that mindset, changing that about yourself and thinking to yourself how wonderful the day is going to be. Think to yourself some of the things that you're wanting to create and how it's going to go, like not how it's going to go. You may not know how you're going to do it, but you can visualize that thing that you're wanting and see it actually coming true in your mind. Something to think about it. Sean, I struggle with positivity sometimes for sure. I did a Dale Carnegie course in 2019 and kept me really positive, made me really motivational leader for a while. As a graduate, I can go back and assist a new course for free. Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. And you know what? I mean, Dale Carnegie is fantastic. There's so many out there, but let's just say that for you, in order to jump into this thing, like you just said, it's a 15 class commitment, 4 hours, whatever. I need to act. Well, that all sounds like a lot. Maybe something with all your changes going on in work and stuff. So that's not really something that's in the cards right now. But let's say that there was someone, say you like listening to them. Oh my gosh, there's Mel Robbins is fantastic. You see, if you follow her on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, she does a thing almost every morning. She is amazing. I love her. She's sassy and cheeky, but she always hits home with the truth, and it's short. It's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something. It's a very short little thing. Maybe that's something you could do until you get to the place in your life, Sean, where you can get right back into that Dale Carnegie, which sounds like a little bit more of a commitment, but maybe there's someone that you could listen to. First thing in the morning when you wake up, as you're brushing your teeth and you're washing your face, I do that. I'll put it right on my phone and I have it playing, and I'm just like washing my face and getting ready and all that kind of stuff. And I'm listening to that as I'm getting myself ready. It is an amazing way to start the day. Mel Robbins is great. Who else? Tony Robbins, of course, is really good. I do find most of his stuff to be pretty long. So if there's a way to follow him, maybe Instagram would be better because they'd be short little clips. But if you have more time, he's really good. There, honestly, you could go onto YouTube and you could type in, motivational speakers or motivational or motivation or something like that, and you wouldn't believe all the people that come up. This is all free stuff, guys. I mean, you can find them on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I kind of like YouTube because I kind of can control it. So I can go after I subscribe, I go onto my subscriptions and then I find the person I want, and then I've got their playlist right there. And then I can just listen one at a time to who I want to listen to. That's how I like to do it. But anyways, just finding anyone that encourages you, helps you to see things maybe in a different light. It's great. It really is great. And it sure is a great way to start your day. And if you do struggle with having positivity, listening to positivity is one of the best things that you can do. Absolutely, for sure. Anyways, you guys, that's all I have for today. So I also wanted to tell you that this is going to be my last Coffee with Lita for this year. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off, and I will be back on January the 3rd, and I'll be talking in the group all about our challenge coming up in January long before then, so you'll know what's going on. In fact, probably by the end of this week, I'll already be posting about it, and we can all sign up and stuff. But this will be my last actual Coffee with Lita with you guys for just a couple weeks. So I hope you guys have an amazing holiday and great time with friends and family. Happy holidays to all you guys. I appreciate all of you, and I'm really grateful to have you in my life and in the group. And it's going to be a great 2022. I just know it. Okay, you guys. Oh, thank you so much. That's really nice of you to say, Sean. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. Take care. We'll talk to you in the group. Bye. Hey guys, before you go, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time we have a new video posted. Also, down in the description, I will have links to everything that we talked about in our chat today, including information on how you can join my Intentionally Bare Keto support group. See you next time.